Welcome, Nobunaga's Ambition Taishi fans, to Nobunaga's Ambition Taishi with Omnius Prime. Episode 2, More Great Features. So now I've run through a little bit of time, so now it's May of 1551. What I want to show you over here is, notice I have this basically a red unhappy face, okay? What can happen, what I have found is that after a few months of beating up on a clan, taking castles or whatever, the population can get war weariness, I think. I'm not quite sure exactly what triggers it, whether it's an amount of time, whether it's getting close to wiping out a clan or whatever, but I've noticed that there are times when I'll have to just go ahead and not take all of the castles, just so that I keep my population happy in my other castles. Like here I'm at popularity 65, there's 70, there's 66. Now some of these recently captured ones, that's only 57 in popularity, 53. So somewhere, I guess, when you're absorbing new castles and stuff, you can end up getting kind of like a war weariness, and you have to kind of go ahead and take a break, call off the war, ask for peace, and then just, build up and finish it off at a later, in a later campaign. So let me go ahead. I'm just about finished here with eliminating the Ouchies, putting the final ouch on the Ouchies.
No quarter, not even
so here, Kenshin has subjugated Oko, and as you can see, one of the four leaders has decided they want to come work for us. These three have decided not to. Now, like in Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14, I have found that when it comes to captured leaders, I go with the fishing concept of catch and release. So I'm just going to release them. So,
you have my thanks.
Didn't think I'd get away unharmed. At some point, we'll get around to capturing them. Now, after I'm done with capturing, I can go ahead and send the army home so that I'm saving on provisions. Okay? So let's go ahead and run some more clock.
All right. Now on to the next.
There we go. And here, nobody decided to join me. And then I'm not going to execute anybody. Remember, catch and release. And then Motoharu Kikiwa. Now, he was with the Mori clan.
Let's head home.
He was in the four cities. These were the Mori cities where I took, what I like to do is kind of like a seal-a-meal, where I go with one army and I'm capturing cities that border another clan, and I leave a city behind to guarantee that I am going to capture the last castle and capture the leaders of a clan. I didn't want to like start off over here and then end up the Imago capturing a last castle and getting the leaders. Because while the castles are great to have, I find that the leaders are where it's all about. So now let's go ahead. Now, the other thing is, during a turn, you have a limited amount of things you can do, like march or declare war. You can negotiate. If I wanted to, I could negotiate peace. Okay, there are a lot of other things, but mainly, like during the war, you could make peace during a turn. You can ask for reinforcements from like a neighboring clan if you are allied with it, and then you can actually control some castles and be able to use them as like your army, and then what they take goes to you. Likewise, an AI ally will also ask you for reinforcements
Taking
at
the victory
times.
in this fight.
And now the Ouchi was eliminated by Shimazu on 5/15/51. And let's decide what to do with the captives. Now, as you can see, I have got a whole bunch of captives, and they're all decided to come to work for me. Okay, so it's like about 71 of them. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to send Takahisa Shimazu home. Whoops, and there we
Let's go
go.
back.
Now, I'm not going to finish the turn and go into the dispatches and stuff. This was just to show you the joys of capturing the last castle and getting the clan's officers to join you. So now, if I come over here, great info screen. So I've got 69 castles. I now have 253 leaders. I had 182 before. Okay? So you really you need leaders to finish up. Now, the leaders end up over here in Tokuyama because in Tokuyama, as you can see, Takahisa Shimazu is the daimyo, or the leader of the clan. Okay? So daimyos are the clan leaders. And last episode, I was wondering where the heck was Kenshin, and Kenshin is right here. You can see he's got stats of 111, 111, 111, and Ijiyasu is like at 110. So some really great leaders. And if I take a look at Takahisa, he's got some fairly good stats except his valor. So you have leadership, valor, intelligence, political, and kind of like formalities. It's kind of like, you know, in the Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14, it's basically called charm. You know, so this is how you get along with others. So I'm going to be back in another segment, and I'm going to take you through the end of June turn, which will let me go into the council and play with the policies so that I can go ahead and pick up some new technology. Back again, and now what I want to show you, it's June of 1551. I've done all the stuff I need to do, like my commerce and my building. Oh, looks like I got something that I could build new. Oh yeah. So forges. Love my forges.
Ha. Understood. Ha.
Like I said, I like at least 3-to-1 forges to okay, where did that last one get to that I can build? Oh, right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is run clock, because what I want to do now is go through a quarter end. I want to go through a council meeting and the tech tree, which is one of the features I really enjoy. You can see that the castles are picking up manpower, whether it be militia from the farmer militia or whether it be the private paid soldiers. There was really nothing happening in this turn. Now, you can have floods, you can have droughts, you can have disease, and you can have earthquakes. Nothing you can do about earthquakes, man. So here you can see it says like refugees from various castles have fled to other lands, but now they're coming back. I've expanded it into some trade zones. Here is just showing that now here the Miyoshi have begun moving our wares through Motoyama. So if I check, here's Motoyama. So now they're investing in my trade zones. Okay, I never, ever, ever invest in their trade zones. So now, Father appears, the flood has occurred, but the flood must have occurred somewhere other than where I'm at because none of my castles were impacted. So now here it says that in addition to the already reported facility, 19 others have shown growth. Now, sometimes a leader will improve something to a point and then he can't improve it any further. So you'll see this, however, I am unable to make it improve anymore. Okay? And or you could have them continue to keep growing. Diplomacy, I didn't do any diplomacy. Here, I've been feeling rather healthy lately. I do think those hot springs have done me well. There's a check about extending officer lives, and I think that's what this does. Here, you can see that looks like Master Morizane Shimamura has improved his formalities, his politics, okay? And now this guy is doing his formalities in politics. So some of these guys have grown through training. Now, sometimes what you'll get is a leader who will gain a new trait. So they might become a construction genius, or be able to like scout the battlefield better. So there's various different kind of traits that leaders can improve on as well. Now it's showing me here that some soldiers are still wounded, but 3,000 militia, 3,500 infantry have gathered at Oyoki. So usually when I'm finished with getting a castle up to the limits that I set for militia and private soldiers, it'll give me that message. So now here, let's take a look at the balance report. I've spent a heck of a lot more than I took in, and we'll see in a moment how that happened. As you can see, I have no expenses. I'm just gaining some provision income from fishing. Those are my fishing villages. You can see I've got 808 horses coming in from my ranches, and I've got 2,052 muskets. Still not at my 3-to-1 muskets, okay? Let's look at gold. So brought in 61,411 from commerce, 16,000 from trading town. Now my infantry pays at like 42.5, so it's still below the commerce income. My commerce expenses weren't much, 57.61. That's because I'm absorbing new trade zones still, instead of developing the ones that I already have, and especially the grand trade zones that'll cost much more. So development expense, this is me developing facilities. Let's look at my provisions. I've got my 55.60 of fishing income. I didn't have any armies in the field, so no military expense, and I didn't sell any provisions. So I need to show you that as well. You can buy and sell provisions. You can buy and sell. You can buy muskets and horses. So this breaks down. I get 90 obtained muskets from some of my trade zones.
Let us begin the council.
Now this is one of my favorite features. I love this, the council. So every quarter, you get to go to council.
I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts.
So now I get 6 advisors who will offer me various things now. Like here, I could get, if I go from the left around, on the top left is the icon for agriculture. Okay, that's commerce up here, the little bar, like a gold bar. The cross swords, that's your military. And then this is rhetoric. This is kind of like your political. Okay, so here Motochiko Shumazo is going to give me 33 commerce and 16 rhetoric, which isn't bad. Motonari Shimazo is going to give me 12 agriculture, 30 commerce, and 14 rhetoric. Masamune Shimazu, 31 ag and 15 military. Shingen Shimazu, who is patterned after Shingen Takeda, one of my favorite Sengoku period office leaders. So he's giving 15 commerce, 31 um, rhetoric. Akitsura Beki, 29 agriculture, 8 commerce, and Mochinobu Kono, 11 agriculture. So now down here is this little, like a little circle thing. Now, since I've already done this and I'm just horsing around showing you on a video, I can go ahead and just do this. I'm going to go ahead and
I'd like to
if
hear
I would have
everyone's
had
thoughts.
some kind of like bad numbers here, I could have, I can give it a second shot. So here's like Motochika, he's got a whole bunch. This guy who's glowing, Masumune Shimazu, that tends to mean that he's going to provide a whole bunch of
All right
stuff.
then.
So I'm going to take, say, that, 17, 19, what's this, 31 and 14. Now, if I need to, I can go here and look, what do I want to focus on? This is my starting. I have 29 ag, 2 military, 10 commerce, 51 rhetoric. So I can decide, well, what do I want to focus on? As you can see, I have one thing I could pick at this point. Let's just go ahead with maybe that guy. Now let's go ahead and just
And with that,
click this.
let us end this council.
Now what we'll get are some new policies to look at that are new technologies. So, military power up, musket attack power up, horse attack power up. I didn't get this one when I first did this. And naval combat power up, naval speed up. That's not going to be too useful usually, unless you're like island hopping like I'm doing. The policy Chosokabe rules has been added from Motochika Chosokabe. The policy Murakami tactics has been added from the leader of the Murakami. Now, let's just kind of take, so this is, the rhetoric over here is this. Agriculture is up here. Commerce is over here. And military is down on the bottom right. Now, this right here, this obtain political power is up, okay? So I could gain more political power at councils. Cost me 75 rhetoric, but nothing else. Effective flattery means I could do better with big clan negotiations. And now that I'm the biggest clan, that is basically worthless. Master negotiations. Raise imperial visiting. This is beyond worthless, and that's why I haven't chosen it. And better will, the goodwill effect, you can send a goodwill mission, send an officer to basically improve relations with another clan. Over here on the top right, I can see that I have 18 ports, 4 commercial ports, 3 trade ports, 5 mines, 5 silver mines, 7 gold mines, 5 pastures, no gunsmiths. There's only 2 gunsmiths on the map. 8 temples, 18 shrines, 27 churches. Over here I can see I have 107 normal trade zones, 2 special trade zones, 65 castle trade zones. I have 2 seeds and 2 fertilizer for my agriculture. I have 17 veteran officers that have been with me for, I think it's like 10 years. New officers, 235. Those are new that have served less than 10 years. Kin officers, obviously relatives. So now, in agriculture, I could go for the fertilizer boost 2, which would give me 3 fertilizer, and I could go seed selection 2, give me 3 seeds that I can plant. This more exemption 1, the exemption effect, I can, instead of having farmers clear land, I could have them take a year off, okay, and not labor at all. Okay, it improves labor exemption effects. What it does is improves the population morale about 9 points. Okay, so and this might raise it up more. This farm reformation, I found that like the mow effect and the tilling. Since I'm always fertilizing and planting seeds, I never mow or till. So that I just won't waste my time with. In the commerce section, I like these extra actions, okay? Extra actions. So that gives me extra commerce actions. Start off with one. I'm up to three now. And I got to get past coin sorting to get to the next one that'll give me the where is it? The extra actions like here, okay? So those are good. And then I have these things here for like silver and mine and pasture and stuff that help to raise up my income. Along here in the rhetoric, early on, your veteran loyalty goes up. You can get your officer growth speed up. Warrior monks, so that when you go to a battle, if it's got a temple, you can get some warrior monks. Now, what's really good here is this Democratic Council gain more political power at council. So this is something that I would, yowza, I want that. And like I said, I just won't waste my rhetoric points on imperial maneuver, because basically what happens is there's the emperor's castle in Nijo. And they're always coming and asking for money, giving you little crappy titles, and then we want 16,000 gold. Nah, I'll pass that. Now, military. Basically, you have two types of soldiers. You have militia, farmer militia. You have infantry, which is basically paid soldiers. Now, when I start, I like to go the militia route, okay? It does open up things like the spiked fences, horse palisades, which help to increase versus cavalry defense, bamboo shields, mantlets, which are help to defend against muskets. Okay. There are some other good things like speedy march, because what you want is to gain unit speed on the battlefield. Okay, here you want to gain unit vision during battles. Now up here is like the Horo group for unit speed, that goes up a whole bunch. Elite gunners, musket attack power goes way up, but as you can see, 80 commerce and 160 military. So that's a toughie to get. And the Hawkeye, so you get your unit vision up, and that costs agriculture, commerce, and military points. So this is about what I would be looking at doing. Naval trade, I don't think I need at this point. Port trade zone income, that's not a bad one to do. If I were buying provisions, that would be a useful policy. So if I went like I could increase my income from trade zones with port increases. So I've got a few ports and stuff. So I'd go and I'd increase my commerce income. So this is basically, the tech tree. I just love this. Over here, this happens. Some clans have special things. Now this happens to be Iroha song. Now, since I've already picked it, it doesn't show the requirement that I need either a particular officer, which happens to be a Shimazu, Jeshin, or I need like 6,000 to 8,000 points. Rhetoric, political power up, raise imperial visiting, rank cost down, Chosakabi rules. Okay, let's just see here. So I don't need anything here special to get this, just the points. Let's see. Maybe it's one of these Murakami tactics. No. Echigo. Bingo. Here's what I'm looking at. Sometimes you'll have a condition where you'll have to have maybe a particular officer, and it says any of the conditions. So it's either have this officer, Sadamitsu Usami, or obtain an overall total of 8,000 or more military policy power. You can see I'm at like 943 after about into my sixth year. So I figured it might take 50, 60 years to get something like that. So this is just, I just love this part of the game. And this was one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to go with this game instead of the Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening version that had just come out a couple months ago. So I'll be back and show you some more cool stuff. Back again. It is now July 1551, and I'm absorbing the new captured trade zones. As you can see, I still have 5 of them left, which would mean that I still need 2 more turns just to absorb new trade zones that I have captured. I have a feeling that the AI gets them automatically because I've noticed that they're real good at developing their own trade zones and getting to where they can build up grand trade zones. So I have a feeling that somehow the AI gets a little cheat as far as being able to absorb trade zones so that they can use their limited number of attempts at improving trade zones, or either expanding or improving, building them up. Nice. Whereas I'm, having to burn the actions as I go along, so I have to pick up the expansions. Now, I started way down here. These 3 cities, Kunimi, Kimatsuki, and Shibushi, were the Kimatsuki tribe. And I had Akaogi, Obi, Miyakono, Ouchi, Chiran, Izaku, and I think Hirasa. And so I started down here very slowly. I had to take out the Kimatsuki, and then there were 2 tribes here and 1 little tribe here, and then the Otomo, which were up in here, took Taka, while I took Sadawara and grabbed the leaders. And I was very good about being able to take out the small clans, grab their leaders, because the officers are really what's key to driving the armies. Now, what I'm doing is with my recruiting is, like, right now I'm starting to change the mix of militia and infantry. And all you have to do is move the slider around, okay? And so right now what I'm doing is I'm subtracting 500 militia, as you can see. Get this back up here. You can see that I've reduced this minus 500, and I'm adding 500 infantry. Now, there are basically 4 levels of troops. At the bottom, you have militia. Then you have infantry, level 1 infantry. And after that, you can, with your techs, get elite militia, which is level 2, and elite infantry, which is level 2. So, after the level 1 infantry, then level 2 militia are better than level 1 infantry. And finally, level 2 infantry are better than everyone else. And So now what I'm doing is I'm kind of adding more infantry as I go along. I have more money to be able to afford the more infantry. This turn, I basically spent moving leaders around. Okay, you can see like I got 1 out of 13. So some leaders are leaving, some leaders are coming in. So that what I'm doing now is building up my armies. Now, I'm going to get to this a little later on when I declare war and stuff. But basically, when you try to form an army, it'll take 1 unit from each city. So it'll take 9 units from 9 cities. Okay, and I found that that can be kind of tough. It limits the number of armies you can use, and as I've seen and shown, battlefield limits. The biggest stack doesn't always win. So this is one reason why I like this game, is that it requires a little more thought and stuff. So right now what I'm trying to do is move leaders around so that I can, what I like to do is use 4 cities. So I'll use 1, 2, 3, whoops. Here I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to use Yamabuki, Yama, Takatsu, Shizuki for an army. Then I'll use Yoshida Koriyama, Sato Kanayama, Suo Takamori, and Tokuyama as my second army. Kagamiyama, Kagi, Noshima, Saganomori is my third army. These will all be arrayed against the Imago. So I'll use 3 armies against the Imago. Here on the island of Shikoku, I've got the Miyoshi to kick off. So I'm going to use now Moroyama, Oyoki, Sone, Ozu as one army. And then I'm using Aki, Koso, Oko, and Asakura for a second army down here on Shikoku. Now, what I'm going to do is I left one city. See, one castle right here is 0 out of 3. So I need to move an officer into Kubokawa so that next turn it has a leader. So Nakamura happens to have 2 out of 3 leaders. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come here, select an officer, and then go to whoops, what was that city? Nakamura. Okay, so Nakamura, I'm going to send, say, this guy. Now, if I pick 3 leaders, I can do a lord selection. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. If I just send 1 leader, that leader will the officer will automatically become the daimyo. Okay, so now I have 0 out of 4, but one of them will show up. Now he's got 1 out of 3, so the guy that's here is going to stay there. Now I had quite a few. What I decided to do was move some officers that had been daimyos in different castles because their attributes were good, and I wanted to use them in the armies. So I basically went ahead and transferred officers out that were daimyos, and that does tend to piss them off a little bit. It reduces their loyalty. So when you turn them away from being a daimyo, by contrast, when you go ahead and send an officer to become a daimyo, then they'll gain some loyalty. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is just, let's run some clock here and just run this turn out, and let's see what happens as far as moving things around. So right now what I'm doing is I'm also spending some turns waiting for castles like here, the last ones that I've captured, to get up to the 6,500 limit. So it's going to take a few turns,
Allow me to
and that's
report.
okay because I like the voice on this. It kind of sounds like my voice. So when I think of it, I think like I'm talking to myself. As you can see, the Miyoshi are moving their wares into the Saijo trade zone. So it wanted a trade agreement with me, and so it's like, okay, I'll do that just to keep them happy. No agriculture, development. Wow, 31 facilities showed growth, and there are too many to list. Diplomacy, nothing. And now in my personnel, I've got some. So now here's, it seems that through focused training, Masamune Shimazu has mastered a tactic. Masamune Shimazu has grown through training. Like this, Master Masaharu Ouchi improved his leadership. Kobayakawa got some valor, which helps on the battlefield. And now what it's doing is like a big list of officers that have entered various different castles. Here it's showing me some of the things about the recruitment in various castles where it's getting finished, and nothing in the other.
Last month's results are as follows.
Now we get to the balance report where looks like I picked up almost 18,000 in gold because my income was much higher than my expenses. I picked up 5,600 in fishing income for provisions. Okay. And you can see didn't spend anything because I don't have any armies in the field. I've got 808 horses last turn, so I've got now almost 16,700 horses. I've got almost 61,000 muskets now that I'm gaining 2,100. And like I said, I like a 3-to-1, so I want to build more muskets up. In the gold, okay, I've got that commerce income up to almost 64,000, trading town income almost 17,000. I really focus on trying to build up things. My infantry pay is at 44,750. So that's pretty good. My commerce expenses are low because I'm absorbing, expanding into trade zones, and that tends to be pretty cheap. And my development expenses, these are the facilities that I'm building up. Provisions, 5,600. Gear shows me how I'm getting my horses and muskets. And now I'm into a new turn, and if I look at the personnel thing, you can see Kubokawa has 1, and basically I've done a good job of making sure everybody's got 1. Here, Akaogi has got 4 out of 22. 18 more leaders are coming down to Akaogi to learn. So as you can see, I did a good job of getting all the one-on-ones. Now, I've got 1 more leader coming here, and I don't know how good that leader's going to be. But I'm a little short here on Sato Kanayama. What I tried to do when I was moving leaders around, what I discovered is some cute tricks. So if I go to a select officer, I mean, trying to remember what town an officer is in and stuff to take to get somewhere. Wow! But what I discovered was I can first hit the leadership. Okay, sort by leadership. Okay, and now all my best officers with the highest leadership value are going to go start from the top down. Okay, so anything that's like 109, 110, 111, these are my created officers. Okay, here now you start to have some of the ones that I originally started with. Okay, now the other thing is I had to figure out how am I going to do a sort for cavalry leaders. So now if I come over here to quality 1 and tap on the cavalry arm, it now is sorting first by by the leadership value, and now by the cavalry arm. So I'm able to find my good cavalry leaders, Okay, Masamune Shimazu and Shingen Shimazu are my two created cavalry leaders. You can see here now Takanobu Ryuzoji is one of the. I captured him from the Ryuzoji. Well, actually, from the Ouchi, who captured the Ryuzoji. Took that clan down and grabbed that leader. Now I've got him because I took out the Ouchi. So now it'll show me my cavalry leaders up here, and now I can easily start to move cavalry leaders around. So what I tried to do is have like one good one here in Saga Numori, and now here's another one, not quite as good, but I've got. So what I've got is basically like, what I like to do is my last city, because since I'm going to do 4 cities, these 2 were border cities, so they're going to have a reduced manpower because they keep more men in the castle since they're on the front lines. In this city, I put my 2 best leaders that will command units in the army. This 111, and then I think maybe like so Haruzumi Arima will now command the 2nd leader unit here. In Shizuki, this is my cavalry town. Okay, so I'll create 2 cavalry units and 1 infantry unit. So so what I'm doing is since I can have 9 units, if I go 4 cities, I can have 2, 4, 6 units, and then 3 here is 9. So 4 cities now I can create 9 units. And what it does is it helps to minimize the amount of travel time I have. Gives me more opportunities to take cities. You know, just throwing in one big unit here, you know, it's way too slow. Now, like I said, I'm going to have to fix up Sato Kanayama here because, you know, 70 and 73, those aren't good army leaders. So I'll have to, like, pilfer 2 leaders from 2 different armies so I don't unbalance things too much, and make sure that I have some decent officers here to lead units. Now, what I also like to do is have, like, say, you can have up to 3 officers per unit, but I like to go with 2. So if I'm going to create 5 armies with 9 units each, that's 45 units times 2 officers. So I need a minimum of 90 officers to run my units with 2 officers per unit. And that's just in case an officer would get killed in battle, I'd have an adjutant to be able to pick up the leadership. Also, more leaders allows you theoretically more capabilities for each unit. Okay. I decided to do a quick wrap on this episode when I discovered that my idea to start up the scenario as the Oda and then do the quest thing, that was going to take too much time, so I'll probably do that as a beginning to the next episode. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and finish up. I'm into the next month here in August. I've gone ahead and done all this stuff that I need to do. As you can see at Sato Kanayama, I've got 4 more leaders coming in, so that I have enough good leaders to do 2 armies there. I just kind of messed up when I was going through the towns. You know, I was trying to be methodical. You know, work the first city, and put leaders in and stuff. But somehow at Sato Kanayama, I kind of screwed up as far as staying in order and stuff. So now what I'm going to do is let's just go ahead and end the turn and see what kind of interesting things will transpire. Like Haruhisa Amago is going to war with the Yamana. Okay? Now, I have an option. I could join the Yamago, but I can't join the Yamana. Okay? If I had if I was allies with the Yamana, I could join the Yamana if I wanted. Or I can just stay out, which is what I'm going to do, because I'm getting ready to attack the Yamago. So I certainly wasn't going to help them. And that basically kind of facilitates me going to war with him. Now he's got a bunch of troops tied up, 11,600 troops tied up in a blockade of that castle right there. So now here, Ozu Castle has had a bountiful harvest. The farmers are overjoyed.
Allow me to report.
So that's good. So let's just take a look at the dispatches here. There's the bountiful harvest. And I gained a couple of, someone else gained a great trade zone here. And commerce here, the Miyoshi are expanding into another one of my trade zones. Now, since it's September, this is the big payday for provisions. So I just picked up 258,760 supplies. Now that has to last me pretty much for the year, except for the fishing income that I derived. So now we had 15 other facilities showed growth, besides the ones that it's showing me that went up to the next level. No diplomacy. So now we have some more leaders who are gaining good attributes, which is good. And here you can see that I've got officers arriving at various castles. Okay, recruitment and stuff. The Imagawa and the Saito have made peace. And then the Yamago has gone to war with the Yamana.
Last month's results are as follows.
Here, I lost a little bit of gold between the 2 months. My expenses were 760 higher than income, because I'm basically cranking up the infantry power now. So here I picked up 264,520 provisions. I now have 389,000. Okay, another 816 horses, another 2,100 muskets. I now have 63,017.5. My gold, okay, there's my gold right here. Infantry pay is 50,000. My commerce income is 65,000, so I still have excess income there. Once again, commerce expenses are low because I'm absorbing new trade zones, so those tend to be pretty cheap. But at 30,600, you can see I'm developing up my facilities. Once again, the provision income, the 258,000 and 5760 in fishing income. And I'm not, don't have any armies in the field for military expense, and I'm not selling any provisions. Ranch income, so there's my breakdown on gear.
Please command me.
And autumn work for our farmers. Now is the perfect time for land clearing. Let us clear land in castles with refugees. Okay? So let's pop up here. You can see here, this guy is taking on your base. Obviously, the Yamana aren't contesting it because their land is separated. Okay, that's not uncommon. Up here, you can see you have the Hoganji clan. Okay, and right down here, you have the Hoganji clan. Okay, so sometimes clans are separated by quite a bit of distance. So, let's take a look real quick at the autumn work here. Now, what it's going to do is give me some castles it's pointing out that look like good candidates for land clearing. Okay, so I could exempt if I had like a town that's got really bad popularity. I could do a labor exemption and improve the popularity. So first of all, let's just go ahead and let's pick these guys. So clear or labor exemption. You can see that I could gain 8 in popularity.
Ha!
But we don't need to because that's a pretty popular town.
Understood.
So I'm going to clear,
Understood.
clear,
Ha!
clear,
Ha!
clear.
Ha!
So let's see. That gives me all of the ones it suggests. So now I've still got 19 left. So what I'm going to do is just take some of these top ones where the variation, in other words, how much I can gain, is good. And now what I'm going to do is drop down to the bottom and look for farmland like 11766. I'm looking for some of the big farms to now just boost them up a little bit. There's another 11.9, 11.5, 10, 11, 99.51, 9100. I got one left. Okay. So I could have gotten 15,486, huh? So we'll take this one out and pick up this guy. And so that takes care of my autumn farm work. I'm going to end this episode now. I need to look at whether I want to. I think I may go ahead and attack the Imago with my 3 armies up here. Okay, I have been diligently improving the. Oh, you can see, yeah, the 1,500 militias, 5,000 infantry. I've been, minus 500 militia, add 500 infantry. I'm keeping the 6,500 there. I'm getting close here, but I'm not ready to attack yet on the Miyoshi. So I might have to wait a turn or two and attack the Miyoshi second. So I may just decide to go ahead and jump the gun while he's got this army over here fooling around with Yabase. So I hope that you're enjoying this little series, and I will be back with another video. Thanks for watching.